Hello and good afternoon, everyone, to my lecture on legal provisions which are in news. So, in this particular lecture, you are going to basically have these lectures thrice in a week, where we are going to discuss whatever legal provisions are there in the newspapers, which are not really descriptive, just informative, but we need to know what are those provisions about. Remember that it is not important for you to memorize these sections. What is important for you from CLAT perspective is that you understand how to pick out essentials from a particular section or a provision which you haven't heard or read about. What are the core intricacies or centrality of legal principles in that section, which you can easily deduce if you read it for the first time. You need to particularly focus on certain terminologies, certain kind of words that I am going to take you through. On today's The Hindu newspaper, we saw on the first page that a news appeared where an IPS officer, a lady IPS officer, was allegedly harassed by a special DGP, Director General of Police, and the issue is of Tamil Nadu. In that particular news, you must have read that FIR was lodged under different various provisions. Some of the provisions were related to sexual harassment, use of criminal force, unlawful restraint, and criminal intimidation. So these are just written over there, but we do not know what are these. Since they are in the newspaper, the CLAT consortium will accept or will want you to be aware about this because you are basically aspiring for national law universities and you need to know the basic ideas. So in this particular legal provision in new series, we are going to read about the provisions of IPC, constitution, contract, Hindu law, Muslim law, criminal procedure, civil procedure, whatever is important for CLAT examination. So this is your host and mentor, Harshvardhan Tripathi. Let's quickly proceed. So we in today's session are going to, it is going to be a very short session, right? Just because it is for the demo orientation purposes also. I'm providing you the links. So sexual harassment, we are going to discuss. Now, if we read this particular section, two things should come in our mind. That is section 354 directly related to sexual harassment? And what is the meaning of sexual harassment or where it is given? What is the meaning of sexual harassment and where it is given? And why the word a has been used after this section? To answer this particular query that must have appeared, I would want to tell you that wherever you see these words, then the words added or the letters added after the numbers, which means the number is a particular provision in law and certain letter is added as A, B, C, D, E. Remember that these are basically the amendments that have been accepted or passed and included in the main provision or the main law, which means section 354 must be something different, whereas section 354A was later on added. And that particular section 354A relates to sexual harassment. So since we know that this is Indian Penal Code, which was formulated by Lord Macaulay in 1860, so it is the criminal law or penal law of British era. So there might be certain offenses in Indian Penal Code, which for want of democratic principles, for want of justification, for want of legislatures, you can say supremacy and assessment must have been either added later on or must have been removed because we didn't want the British era laws to continue in independent India. So all the more, whatever laws were in consonance with the democratic principles or enshrined in our Indian constitution or the constitutional principles were allowed to continue. Rest, many were repealed. and over the years, many are being amended. Saving short the discussion, we are going to read this particular section, and the heading of this section is as follows: sexual harassment and punishment for sexual harassment, which means this section talks about two things. It first tells you what do you mean by sexual harassment, and in the later part it gives you the punishment. So in Indian Penal Code, I would also want to tell you, in Indian Penal Code, why is Indian Penal Code called as penal law and not as criminal law? Penal law means that first it defines the offense. Second, it prescribes the punishment. Thirdly, it classifies the offense. And it also prescribes the authority that can take cognizance of that matter. So since it is related to the definition of the offense, it is related to the prescription of the punishment, it is also related to the classification of offense. We call it penal law. The law that describes the offenses and its punishment. All the more it's related to punishments and crimes. Whereas Criminal Procedure Code and Evidence Act are a part of criminal law. Criminal law basically means related to the procedures as to how an offense will be dealt in a court of law. Evidence Act regarding how the evidences will be produced, witnesses will be produced before a court of law. So they are basically procedural in nature, whereas Indian Penal Code is substantive in nature. Now, these were certain things, bachon, that actually were taught or were a part of your law school. But CLAT has changed its orientation and pattern, and we expect you to know all this information priorly. So this is basically a little prior knowledge or understanding of law that you need to have in your mind if you want to excel in this examination, which is not being provided generally by every other institute because they have not yet come to a conclusion as to what is to be the way to teach CLAT aspirants based on the new pattern. So here am I. Let's quickly read the provision word by word to understand what is actually the meaning of sexual harassment and what are the components, or you can say principles. First thing, it reads, if a man. It says, if a man commits any of the enlisted act, like gives any physical contact with any woman, unwelcome and explicit sexual overtures, demand for sexual favors, showing pornography against the will, or making sexually colored remarks. So it must be remarks, shall be guilty of sexual harassment. Shall be guilty. Can you notice the words like this? Can you notice it? All right. Let me repeat. The first thing that you need to focus is that it says if a man, which means only a man can commit sexual harassment as per IPC. So this particular provision was added later on, right, to give protection to women. Hence, it has been presumed by law that sexual harassment would be done by a man against a woman. Now, this particular thing right now might be a question coming up in your mind. Can a woman not sexually harass a man? Might be the case, but generally we don't see that women are harassing men, right? Law is all about common sense, and law is there to remove the, you can say, difficulties, or to give protection to the vulnerable section. So women are more prone to sexual harassments. and there are a lot of instances. So law gives protection to women like this when it presumes that a man commits sexual harassment against women. Now, it first tells you that it is physical contact. What is to be the nature of physical contact? Let's say you are moving in a bus, and suddenly the bus driver applies a brake. You are uh, thrusted against a woman. Is that a physical contact? Will that mere physical contact amount to sexual harassment? No. Unless and until the woman in front of you feels that you are again and again trying to touch her, trying to get physically contact with her, and she is not giving into it, or she is not accepting it. If she feels that the physical contact was to harass her or was a kind of sexual gesture, then that physical contact would be covered under sexual harassment. Secondly, it talks about unwelcome and explicit sexual overtures. Unwelcome and explicit sexual overtures. What does it mean? What does it mean? It means that whenever you are trying to act, show any gesture, any sign, any symbol, any facial expression which is not welcomed by a woman, which is not being liked by a woman, and it directly, and it says and, right? It does not say or, it says and, which means that this gesture must be unwelcome, not acceptable by the woman, and it must be relating to explicit sexual overtures or sexual symbols. I mean, I cannot act and right now tell you what it would mean, but if the woman on the other side is feeling that your gestures are unwelcome and explicit sexual overtures, and she is a normal woman, she will give justification when she will be lodging an FIR under Section 354, and she will be telling the entire matter to the police officer. The police officer will ask her, what was that gesture? What did he do? What did the man do? Now she will tell that he started unbuttoning himself and rubbing his chest and telling me, come here with his hands. So that is basically an unwelcome explicit sexual overture. That is just an example. Third, demand for sexual favors. Demand for sexual favors or request for sexual favors, which is also not being given in by sexual harassment. See, it doesn't matter. The section does not mention whether the woman gave into the demand for sexual favors or not, whether woman complied with such demands or not. The moment a man demanded any sexual favor from any woman, and she must have given in under pressure, but later on she regrets that, and she went on to lodge a report before the police officer that she was burdened or pressurized to do certain acts as sexual favors. The moment you demanded it, the moment a man requested it, that will amount to sexual harassment. So you see, there has been a case recently of Delhi. We saw on Instagram where 3-4 ladies were walking by on the street, and 3-4 unruly men came and started asking about the rates and everything. So that all messed up, and Delhi Commission for Women lodged an FIR against those men as per 354A, sexual harassment, because they were putting something which could be conceived as sexual favors. Now, showing pornography against the will. Notice the word against the will. So if two friends today are chilling at home and watching a pornographic film, which is also against the law, but let's say if they are doing it together, will it amount to sexual harassment? No. The pornography should be shown first by a man to a woman. Secondly, it must be against her will. जबरदस्ती बैठा के टीवी पे चला दिया आपने, and likewise. Or it says, or making sexually colored remarks. Sexually colored remarks means you are trying to, you can say something about her physical appearance, say something about her physical dimensions and everything. So that will be will be calculated or will be called as a sexually colored remark. You know, the terms chickeny and all that, they are basically sexual harassment. But yes, see, this is not a very, we can say a serious offense as per IPC. The seriousness of any offense, the seriousness you can say, or severity and of any offense is calculated how? Is calculated by punishment कैसा दिया है उसमें. Punishment IPC में कैसा दिया है. तो जिस offense का punishment ज़्यादा है, वो ऑफेंस ज्यादा सीवियर होगा, ज्यादा सीरियस होगा. So you getting it? Also notice the use of the word and at places and or at places. The word and means it is necessary, inclusive. मतलब कि प्लस साइन लगाओ. और means options, which means ये या तो वो. मतलब A एंड B लिखा है अगर, तो इसका मतलब समझिए A प्लस B दोनों साथ में होने चाहिए. A और B लिखा है अगर, तो इसका मतलब A हो या आपका B हो. तो ये और एंड में डिफरेंस होता है जो हमें ध्यान में लेके चलना पड़ेगा. समझ में आया? तो अब इसके अगर हम एसेंशियल्स की बात करें तो सबसे पहले एक मैन होना चाहिए जिसपे ऑफेंस, जो ऑफेंस कर रहा है, इट विल ऑलवेज बी अ मैन. So let's say if any situation is given in your CLAT examination that Mr. Mr. Zishan, who belongs to LGBTQ community, took a woman by force inside her flat and played pornography. So will this amount to sexual harassment? So Mr. Zishan, the name suggests that he is a man, but it is written over that it belongs to LGBTQ community. Now you see, not a man, so it won't be sexual harassment. Despite the fact that this part is relating to the essentials of sexual harassment, the second part, taking a woman by force against her will inside your flat and playing pornography, but then the person who was doing it was not a man. So yes, it will amount to some kind of offense, but it won't amount to sexual harassment as per IPC or as per the principle given before you. Let's move ahead. Section 354A, sexual harassment. Now, punishment for A, physical contact, B, unwelcome explicit overture remarks, C, sexual favors, and sexual favors, right? So it is physical contact, then it is unwelcome explicit sexual overtures or gestures, sexual favors ka demand, and showing pornography against her will is rigorous imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years or with fine or both. And punishment for D basically is sexually colored remarks. It must have been not there in the slide. Sexually colored remarks agar aapne diye, sexually colored remarks, right, shall be with imprisonment which may extend to 1 year with fine or with both. Now, you please understand this, that this is not a judiciary preparation that you are doing so that you need to remember the kind of punishments and all. But what you need to specifically understand over here is what is the meaning of the word rigorous imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years. You see, the punishment is for 3 years and punishment for D is imprisonment which may extend to 1 year. Now, if this terminology you are not able to get it, let me point out those particular areas where you need to focus. So first is that it is talking about rigorous imprisonment. So there are 2 types of imprisonment. Imprisonment are of 2 types. Imprisonment matlab jail term or number of years you are going to spend in jail. In legal terms, it terms as imprisonment. The other term you might also read or come across would be the word sentence. What is a sentence as per IPC? So sentence as per IPC specifically means number of years. Number of years basically of punishment. So if you read somewhere that a request was made before the appellate court to reduce the sentence of Mr. A or Mr. B, अगर ऐसा कहीं लिखा है रिड्यूस द सेंटेंस, मतलब समझ लेना कि उसको जो सजा हुई है, उसको जो पनिशमेंट हुई है, उसके नंबर ऑफ ईयर्स ऑफ पनिशमेंट का रिडक्शन है जो ए मांग रहा है कोर्ट से। पहली बात, ये सेंटेंस इम्प्रिजनमेंट वर्ड समझ गए। अब इम्प्रिजनमेंट मैंने बताया आईपीसी में दो तरीके की है। कितने तरीके की है? दो तरीके की है। क्या क्या है? तो इम्प्रिजनमेंट दो तरीके की अगर हम बात करें तो एक है हमारा सिंपल इम्प्रिजनमेंट और दूसरा है हमारा रिगोरस इम्प्रिजनमेंट। सिंपल इम्प्रिजनमेंट मतलब यू विल बी पुट टू जेल, you just have to sit with your jail inmates and pass the time, pass your term, जितना भी आपको मिली है सजा, जितने साल की भी। रिगोरस इम्प्रिजनमेंट मींस आपसे कुछ ना कुछ लेबर एक्टिविटीज करवाई जा सकती हैं, लकड़ी कटवाई जा सकती है, पत्थर तोड़वाए जा सकते हैं, रोड बनवाई जा सकती है, समवेयर यू नो 2 times मील बट एक्सटेंसिव लेबर। तो ये रिगोरस इम्प्रिजनमेंट होता है। तो समझिए, रिगोरस इम्प्रिजनमेंट ऑफ 3 years for a term, rigorous imprisonment for a term matlab the period which may extend to 3 years, which means that this is the maximum, this is the maximum year, this is the maximum years that can be used, or that can be used to punish the offender of sexual harassment, maximum, which may extend to 3 years, which means it can also be the case where the court says that the person is of 16 years, 17 years age, has entire youthful age in front of him, but needs to be properly, given an opportunity also to reform his state of mind. He might have done an explicit act which is sexual harassment, but let us give us also an opportunity to this young child so that he cannot repeat, or he should not repeat that offense in future. So the court might punish for 3 months, the court might punish for 1 year, the court might punish for 2 years. So the maximum that can be given is 3 years, and that too rigorous imprisonment. Getting it? If 3 years simple imprisonment and 3 years rigorous imprisonment are comparison, or done with a comparative analytical mind, what would you call more severe? 3 years rigorous imprisonment or 3 years simple imprisonment? You know that सिंपल में सिर्फ जेल में रहना है, रिगोरस में काम वाम भी करना है। तो 3 years rigorous imprisonment is more severe than 3 years simple imprisonment. So these particular things basically you need to know, because then a situation comes in CLAT examination where they ask you that the offender was basically appealing before the court to reduce a sentence. What would it mean? What would it mean in that case? Let's say if the person is punished with a rigorous imprisonment of 3 years, and the situation says that the person is now appealing before the court to reduce a sentence, what it would mean? It would mean that the person is trying to evade the offense. The person is trying to plead non-guilty before the court. The person does not want to go to jail. And D, the person wants to change rigorous imprisonment into simple imprisonment. In the question, it was only given reduce the sentence. So in the options, you see the last option that we know, reduce the sentence का मतलब भैया सजा की severity को कम करना या number of years को कम करना। तो rigorous को अगर simple में कर रहे हो तो भी sentence को reduce करा रहे हो। rigorous imprisonment 3 साल की है, उसको 2 साल की plea डाल रहे हो, आपकी 2 साल की कर दीजिए प्लीज, तो भी आप sentence reduce करा रहे हो। Getting it? ये स्पेसिफिक चीजें हैं जो आपको समझना जरूरी है। विद फाइन और बोथ, मतलब या तो इसमें ऐसा हो सकता है कि पनिशमेंट के साथ साथ फाइन देना पड़े, या सिर्फ फाइन देना पड़े, या दोनों ही देना पड़े। तो अगर किसी ऑफेंस में लेट से 15 साल का लड़का है, उसने किसी अपनी फ्रेंड को जबरदस्ती स्कूल बस के अंदर कुछ ऐसा अपने मोबाइल फोन में दिखाया जो उसको अच्छा नहीं लगा, उसने रिपोर्ट किया पेरेंट्स को, पेरेंट्स चले गए FIR कराने के लिए, तो भाई 15 साल के बच्चे को कोर्ट कारावास में तो नहीं भेजेगी। यस, द कोर्ट विल प्रिज्यूम दैट, बट द गिल्टी माइंड हैज टू बी पनिश्ड, सो imposition of fine. But imposition of fine will not affect the mental status of that child, because their parents ultimately would be bearing. But then if the parents would be bearing that amount as fine, then naturally they would keep a watch on his child that such actions are not repeated, right? Getting it? ये पूरा common sense की तरह law operate करता है. Please understand that. Now punishment for D, which means that for sexual gestures, unwelcome sexual gestures, the imprisonment is not that severe. The imprisonment is maximum, which may extend to 1 year, means can be extended to the maximum punishment that is given is 1 year. So it does not come with the word rigorous, which means that it is a simple imprisonment, which may be maximum of 1 years with fine or both. The same logic goes here also. I hope you are able to get what I'm trying to tell you. So let's quickly understand a history of sexual harassment. Just a bit insight. Basically, these all things are related to your IPC, which you will study during your law school years. But then, if you're taking up a discussion, why not to take it in full capacity? This offense, particularly sexual harassment offense, was added in Indian Penal Code of 1816 2013 as per Criminal Law Amendment Act, which was passed by the Indian Parliament. Now there are four, like you read 354A, right? There are also 354B, C, D in Indian Penal Code. So 354A is related to sexual harassment. 354B is related to assault or use of criminal force with intent to disrobe, not robe, disrobe. And then 354C is related to IPC and D is related to stalking. So these are also offenses that you need to know and we need to discuss, but we will discuss it when we understand the difference or the meaning between assault, battery, criminal force. So before we begin to understand these offenses, we need to, see what is the meaning of criminal force. Because again, it says that assault or use of criminal force with intent to disrobe would be another offense. It's not sexual harassment. It's entirely a different offense. So we need to know what is the meaning of criminal force. A bit about voyeurism and stalking. Basically, voyeurism means that whenever a man is watching or capturing any image of a woman who is engaging in any private activity, or let's say she is in a place where she is in a notion, in a belief that privacy should be respected. Let's say she is going to change certain clothes behind a bus, so she knows that no man should peep there. She's inside her washroom changing clothes. She would naturally expect, like a normal human being, everybody expects privacy in their own bedroom, in their own houses. They don't want spying cameras. They don't want spying people, right? So if any man is doing that against the knowledge or against the, what we can say, acceptance of a woman and capturing that image, that particularly amounts to voyeurism. And it becomes severe voyeurism, severe kind of voyeurism, when the perpetrator, which means the peeper, the eavesdropper, now what is doing is disseminating such image. Disseminating means sharing such images would be considered as voyeurism. Let's say we all might think that somebody shared their private photographs, a woman shared their private photographs with her man in relationship, guy in relationship. Will it amount to voyeurism? The guy is asking for photographs and everything, and she's sharing it. Will it amount to voyeurism? It won't amount to voyeurism. It will amount to voyeurism only when such images are shared from the guy's device to another device or any other person. That would amount to voyeurism. And there are different activities that are defined as private acts in this section, but we will deal with it once we are through and through with the particular provisions, right? Just giving you an insight. So what do we mean by stalking? Stalking का मतलब ये है कि किसी की प्रोफाइल आपने इंस्टाग्राम पे चेक करी, लगातार कई सारी फोटोग्राफ्स आपने लाइक कर दी, तो जनरली वो आके कहते हैं लड़कियां कि स्टॉक कर रहा है, ऑफेंस है। नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता है। सोशल मीडिया चैनल, सोशल मीडिया प्रोफाइल्स को विजिट करना, लाइक करना, ये सब स्टॉकिंग में नहीं आता है। स्टॉकिंग की पर्टिकुलर कैटेगरीज हैं जो डिफाइंड है आईपीसी में, कि जब कोई मैन किसी वुमन को फॉलो करता है, कांटेक्ट करता है, कांटेक्ट करने का अटेम्प्ट करता है, जबरदस्ती पर्सनल इंटरैक्ट करने की कोशिश करता है रिपीटेडली, डिस्पाइट अ क्लियर इंडिकेशन ऑफ डिसइंटरेस्ट बाय सच वुमन। सो स्टॉकिंग में पहले अगर वुमन ने रोका नहीं, कोई उसको लग रहा है कि उसको फॉलो कर रहा है लगातार 3 दिन से और वुमन उसको रोक नहीं रही है, कुछ बोल नहीं रही है, there must be certain kind of indication or disinterest by such a woman towards such activity, then this will amount to stalking. monitors the use of women of the internet, email, or any other form of electronic communication would also amount to stalking. What amounts to monitor? What it means by monitoring? Monitoring का मतलब ये हो गया कि आप जबरदस्ती उसको डीएम पे डीएम कर रहे हो, मैसेज पे मैसेज कर रहे हो बात करने के लिए, यूजलेस कमेंट्स कर रहे हो उसका अटेंशन ग्रैब करने के लिए, शी इज नॉट रिप्लाइंग इट, शी इज डिलीटिंग योर कमेंट्स फ्रॉम अ प्रोफाइल्स बट देन अगेन you are posting it. Such activity would come under monitoring, right? The use, you are hacking into someone's profile and then using it. This will all amount to monitoring the use of women, the use by a woman of the internet. So this is all related to stalking. But we need to know the basic section 354 in which different parts as A, B, C, and D were added. We need to know what is 354. So 354 is related to the use of the term assault or criminal force to a woman with intent to outrage her modesty. Now you see, we read so many things. We read about sexual harassment, making sexual overtures, sexual gestures, physical contacts, unwelcome contacts, showing pornography, which is sexual harassment. We also read about voyeurism, stalking. We also read about a particular assault and use of criminal force to disrobe a woman. Now we are talking about particular thing which is outraging the modesty of a woman. Now, outraging the modesty of a woman means specific things which has been defined by Supreme Court or High Courts in different cases. What would mean to outrage the modesty of a woman? But we, as a UG aspirant, do not have to get into too much details of what is outraging the modesty. You can simply construe it to mean that anything that a woman believes, feels, that is basically demeaning to her respect, that is against her respect, that is against her gender, because she's a woman, so she believes that the other genders are being disproportionate in their activities or trying to persuade the woman to do certain act which is against her will, against her wish. It would be termed as outraging the modesty. So all the more, there are a lot of cases, right, where Supreme Court breathes life to these particular sections or terminologies by giving it interpretation and meaning. But we are saving ourselves from that, because then again, it will lead to useless, lengthy discussions which won't affect your examination preparation. So if there is a section, let's say if there is a principle written which says that assault or criminal force to a woman with intent to outrage her modesty. Now, this is something new. You haven't come across it. What and how and when and where to look about it, right? So, ये हम कर रहे हैं basically activity में. चलो, ये वाला section भी एक last बार देख लेते हैं. Whoever. अब देखो यहाँ पे लिखा है word whoever, which means it necessarily does not mean that it should be a man only. It means that a woman can also outrage the modesty of another woman. It means a transgender person can also outrage the modesty of another woman. So it says whoever assaults. So we don't know the meaning of the word assault. I'll save that discussion because assault is a different chapter altogether. Or uses criminal force. There is a difference between force and criminal force. Force मतलब किसी भी तरह को push और pull को force बोलते हैं. But जब ये push और pull किसी एक पर्टिकुलर इंसान की तरफ किया जाए, when this push or pull is applied on a person to basically do a particular offense, to murder, to hurt, to give grievous hurt, such activity would be called as using criminal force, right? A force used with a criminal intent would be called as criminal force, as simple as that. To any woman intending, which means intention is very important. Use of that criminal force or assault has to be accompanied by a similar intention. The intention must be to outrage, or it says, or यहाँ पे ऐसे line खींची, knowing it to be likely that he will thereby outrage her modesty. He is in relation to the term whoever. It does not relate to the term man. IPC में बहुत जगह पे he use होता है. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि ये man को डायरेक्ट कर रहा है. इसका मतलब है कि ये जो word whoever है ये इसको डायरेक्ट कर रहा है. अब whoever में अगर कोई फीमेल है तो आप इसको नेचुरली समझ लो कि यहाँ पे she होगा. लेकिन इतनी टेक्निकलिटी पे लॉ, ये छोटी छोटी चुनिंदा बातों पे, चिंदी चिंदी बातों पे लॉ गौर नहीं करता है, ठीक है। लॉ पर्पस सर्व करता है। तो आउटरेज हर मॉडेस्टी, मतलब ये जो मॉडेस्टी वाला कंसेप्ट है, ये सिर्फ वुमेन को दिया गया है कि वुमेन की अपनी एक मॉडेस्टी होती है जो आउटरेज हो सकती है, वुमेन एक डिमीन फील कर सकती है किसी भी पर्सन के द्वारा। तो outrage her modesty shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which shall not be less than 1 year, but which may extend to 5 years, and shall also be liable to fine. Now, this particular section 354 is distinct in terms of punishment. कैसे देखो, पहली बात तो ये कि ये बोलता है imprisonment of either a term which for a term which shall not be less than, मतलब मैंडेटरी है, मैंडेटरी है कि मिनिमम पनिशमेंट जो होगी, मैंडेटरी है कि मिनिमम पनिशमेंट जो होगी वो 1 साल तो होगी ही होगी, नॉट लेस देन 1 ईयर, मतलब 1 साल की सजा तो इसके अंडर होगी ही होगी। बट मैक्सिमम पनिशमेंट जो है, मैक्सिमम पनिशमेंट जो है वो कितनी हो सकती है, 5 साल की। प्लस लिखा है एंड के साथ लिखा है शैल, मतलब हर बार प्लस पनिशमेंट के साथ ही साथ आपको फाइन भी देना रहेगा। पनिशमेंट के साथ ही साथ, इंप्रिजनमेंट के साथ ही साथ आपको फाइन भी देना रहेगा। जबकि पहले हमने पढ़ा था और फाइन और बोथ, यानी कि सजा देंगे या तो फाइन लगाएंगे या दोनों कर देंगे। इस केस में सेक्शन 354 में जहां पे मॉडेस्टी आउटरेज हो रही है, वहां पे फाइन के साथ साथ पनिशमेंट भी होगी, और पनिशमेंट मिनिमम 1 साल की तो होगी ही होगी, एंड विच मे एक्सटेंड टू मैक्सिमम 5 साल, क्योंकि 5 साल से ज्यादा नहीं दे सकते। आप इस वीडियो को फिर से देखिएगा, फिर से इस चीज को खुद से पढ़िएगा यहीं पे स्क्रीन पे, और सुन के समझने की कोशिश कीजिएगा कि किस किस जगह पे मैंने आपका अटेंशन जो था वो ज्यादा एम्फेसाइज करवाया। मैंने इनके कंसेप्ट पे एम्फेसाइज नहीं करवाया आपको, इनकी मीनिंग पे एम्फेसाइज नहीं कराया, जनरल अंडरस्टैंडिंग के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से आपको समझा दिया, लेकिन जो शब्दों का यूज है वो समझना इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि यही शब्दों का यूजेज आपको प्रिंसिपल की तरह बता देगा और एक सिचुएशन बता देगा, और वहां पे आपके साथ क्लैट कंसोर्शियम बहुत अच्छे से खेलेगा, क्योंकि वो जानता है ये बात कि आप अभी 12th में हो, 12th पास किया है आपने, लॉ पढ़ने की समझ नहीं है आपको, लेकिन ये हमारा मेंटोर्स का काम है कि हम आपको लॉ को पढ़ना कैसे है ये अभी सिखा दें, ताकि आप इसको लीगल प्रिंसिपल्स वाले पैसेजेस में अप्लाई कर सको और क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व कर सको बाय गोइंग बाय द एलिमिनेशन मेथड। इस पे किसी भी तरीके के क्वेश्चंस नहीं ऐड किए हैं मैंने, बट ये एक पर्टिकुलर छोटा सा, कह लो कि व्हाट वी कैन से, a small insight into the kind of content and the lectures that I deliver for CLAT preparation, which has indeed tremendously helped 2021 aspirants. So I believe this was also going to help you also as well. I believe you make the most out of it, and consider this as your demo sessions. Watch it, and by the tune of your 2nd August, 3rd August, let me know if you are wishing to continue in the regular classroom program or not, because then thereby it will help me in making certain arrangements for you. इतने insightful इस गारंटी के साथ तो मैं कह रहा हूँ, it has been 5 years of mine training CLAT students, working with different coaching institutes. I have worked in all the leading brands, somewhere as a full-time faculty, somewhere with some degree of involvement. I know the kind of teachers they are, right? And everything comes at a cost of 80-90,000. I know you cannot afford it right now, which is why you are looking for an alternative, reasonable coaching. So our fee and everything is very, very reasonable. Do watch these lectures. I'm not making any sale pitch over here. I just want to help you out at a minimal price, at a minimal fee that would also serve my interest, because I'm also putting in hard work and hours. All the very best. I believe in the next session, we are going to talk about assault and criminal force. And the idea is basically to take your current legal knowledge plus your static legal knowledge together. So as per the initial plan, we are going to have 2 logical sessions in a week, 3 to 4 legal sessions, 2 current affairs sessions, 1 GK quiz, and 1 legal quiz. This is the whole sole idea for entire week. Classes would be there, 45-minute sessions, 2 45-minute sessions from Monday to Friday. So I believe this is more than enough for your CLAT preparation as of now. All the very best. See you soon.